Alright folks, welcome back to FurnaceClans. This is Wandering Kid here. Still doing the single pick challenge, and we still have our 9 dwarves. It's currently 7:56, midwinter. You haven't seen this fort in about a year and a half, and a bunch of things have happened. I'll walk you through them pretty briefly. First thing we did was we set up a whole bunch of stockpiles here. Furniture stockpiles, weapon stockpiles, finished goods, you name it. We needed to get our goods down because another merchant caravan died on the surface. I go for to hold them down as well. Well, additionally, I've also built out a small pit underneath my dyer's area, right over here. It doesn't seem to be working right at the moment, but we'll figure out why here shortly. Also, due to our other caravan coming through, I've built a leatherworks because we've gotten some leather off of them, and we just dropped it down here in a storeroom underneath them. Don't have any dwarves turned on for that yet, but we'll get to that. Also, in our stocks, we have plenty of food. One of the things we did get was some rock nuts off one of the other caravans, so I've got dimple dye spawn roasts, I've got leaves off the quarry bushes, things like that. So we're doing fine on food. Also, we also have plenty of booze just kicking around at this point, so I'm not too worried about food at the moment. In our supplies, we have plenty of goods at this point for general maintenance of the fort. For example, we have plenty of seeds, and we've actually started cooking these. So let me show you. We have plenty of pigtail seeds and plump helmet spawn. Also, I've been grinding up sweet pods and flour, so we have some sugar and wheat for additional cooking. We're pretty good for food and all of that at this point, so I'm pretty satisfied. Down here we have the hospital. We have 3 traction benches, tables next to them for surgery, and 8 beds, again tables next to them for surgery. The doors are there just in case something horrendous happens, such as a syndrome that causes miasma or something like that, so people don't get destroyed. This one block in the center will end up being the well. That's actually something I was going to start walking you through here shortly, but I want to get back to you on that. I'll bring you to that point eventually. We come up here, this is our pit area. We have plenty of magnetite to work with from what I can tell. And if we come all the way up, I've moved the farms. Farms are now up here on level 1. Quarry bushes, plump helmets, and the other 3 over here. I've actually started shutting off farming just to have more labor available. We have plenty of food. We don't need that heavy-duty farms right now. I overbuilt them, so they're just going to stay there for a bit. Down here is where we did the run for the other merchant goods, and there's still a couple hiding in the corners there. Here's why. What I had intended to do, and I hadn't realized it wasn't going to work, was I was going to try and build a tower going upstairs. And I started channeling it out, and then as he kept trying to channel things out, the end kept scaring him. So I wasn't able to actually channel it out. So I tried this somewhere else. Namely, over by the entrance for the caravans. I figured, I'd go upstairs, I'd build some floors, I'd drop some water, make some ice walls. We were able to build the channeled area, but once we dug the first downward stairway, we were no longer able to go upstairs. The dwarves seem to have approximately 20 to 25 squares worth of vision, and that's plenty enough to see these guys hanging around outside the channeled area. So even though they're safe, they will not dig this, nor can I wall it in or anything of that nature, so that the dwarves would be safe and are able to raise a tower up for me to be able to dump ice down, water down as ice and things of that nature. So we are unable still to use our depot, but that's okay. For the last 2 years, we haven't seen migrants, we haven't seen caravans. One of the other things we spent the last 2 years doing was putting another hole in the aquifer. I didn't want to use my main entry as the place I want to bring the undead down into some kind of grinder pit. So what we have done was we used a double it down into a trap eventually. So we've carved through here, we went through our 2 layers of aquifer, and now we're down into good rock. This is a magnetite area that I probably won't want to use initially. Here's another area of ore that I want to dig under for the trap. So while I'm thinking about that, we're going to dig that down another 5 or 6 layers, just so I have that ore available when I want it. What I want to do is I want to walk you through the dig zone to make a waterfall going into the dining hall. You'll notice I just punched this out. I had the rest of this dug out as prep. So over here is just going to be our lever control room. And it goes one flight up. So up here, here's our downward stairway. This is just a little access corridor. We'll floodgate right here. This is a small room to allow the water to flow out and spread into a 3-wide drop. That 3-wide drop drops down directly over these grates. In theory, I could put more grates here. It's pretty much unnecessary. From there, there's a small tunnel here, and we go up to 2 levels under the aquifer. The reason we go 2 is because if we go 1, it's going to drip on us already. We only need to go up 1 more layer from here. So we have our up-down stairway here. We have our down stairway there, sorry. And then a small hook. The reason we have this hook is because I want to put in 2 floodgates. One of these floodgates will stay open, and one closed when we do the last dig, so that the miner can escape. Once everything else is prepared, we'll dig an up stairway here, and an up-down right above it into our aquifer layer. It'll drain into our waterfall. One of the things that you may find interesting is we've gotten many more undead up on the surface at this point. We're up to 84 of them. And I also built a memorial to Stez just to see how he died. I hadn't actually looked at that yet. He was struck down by the zombie dwarf fortress saints in the rampage of the Savannah Titan. So about 2 years ago he got struck down by one of my undead dwarves. So he apparently got revenged on by one of the merchants that he killed off, or perhaps one of the migrants. So that was fitting. Now one of the things I have done is I had some bags to spare, so I set up the workshop to process plants. And I also want to dye cloth, repeat, so that I can get more dimple dye spawn for food. And also so I can free out those bags. Because what's interesting is I got plenty of bags of dimple dye here. And I cannot get it to come into this stockpile. I don't know why. I have tried a number of things. I have rebuilt the stockpile. It just... Oh. Because the stairway got smoothed over. That would do it. Whoops. Okay, he's going out to where we punch through the aquifer first. The layout for the waterfall is the oldest dig pattern I actually have set up at the moment. Oh, now he's going to go to sleep. How lovely. So once he starts digging, I'm going to bring you guys back in so you can see how this digs out, and I can show you where I put the levers and things like that. So we're going to break here for a second. Alright, I had finally decided he was willing to go dig this area out. So we're going to dig this area up. We're going to start setting up our levers. We're going to need 3 levers, and I'm going to set them up as most obviously as possible. This upper one here will be for the low floodgate, and these 2 will be for the upper floodgates. Now, I tend to be a little anal about this, and I don't have enough grates, so I went through more rock grates. I was just digging some up-downs. There we go. Okay. So once we have our levers built, we're going to install... we'll install the floodgates backwards. So we'll put the first floodgate here. One of the things I should share with you is those 2 sets of levers I had last time we were here, they've gotten married. So we're able to start looking forward to some dwarven babies in this fort as long as I behave myself. So while that's dug out up there and they're trying to put floodgates into play, we're going to walk through the lower area. I'm going to start digging that out. Now, this is basically just a... Go away. This is a straight run off to the edge of the screen. And once we're here, we'll smooth and fortify that stone as a drain. Over here, I'm making a cistern. I'm using an angled entry so that it's unpressurized, and I've made it very deep. So it's 4 levels deep in an inverted pyramid. And I just remembered something that he's going to do. He's going to start causing cave-ins. Alright. We're going to not let him dig this layer until he gets done with the upper layer. I forgot I had done that, and then I just wanted to show you what it looked like, but so be it. So he'll dig that out, and I'll bring that back into place later. Directly above that cistern is the center of our hospital, where I'll put the well. So he's going to dig that out. Should be able to put my grates in now. Yep, I have plenty of grates. Put the crappy ones in the ceiling. Nobody's building me my levers yet. Everybody's pretty busy. We've got bag processing, channel digging, item storage, lavish meal creation. I'm just trying to process all those dimple seeds. And another cloud of dust. I found out what those clouds of dust do, actually. One of the caravans got caught in it. It makes them dizzy. It's not overly threatening. It doesn't seem to affect anybody who touches the dust. Apparently you have to breathe it in. Because I have plenty of contaminated goods in this fortress at this point from the caravan drops. And I just never had any problems yet. So, okay, we've installed one of the floodgates, but we didn't install the lever that attaches to it yet, so we're just going to wait on that. Oh, in the meanwhile, I guess I can install that floodgate as well. Start that getting attached. Who is my mechanic? Vukar is my mechanic. He's storing stuff in bags. Okay. Hey, we've made it to spring. So I'm going to break here for a minute. Welcome back. We seem to have had ourselves a small mining accident here. Apparently this happened via cave-in. I'm not entirely sure how. Caught in clouds of boiling magma and slammed into obstacles while digging out the cistern. I'm not entirely sure how all this occurred. But in the end, it doesn't really matter. Our boy's beaten up pretty bad. Broken right arm, bunch of bruises, and some broken ribs. So, all things said and done, not the most horrible thing, but that's what happens when you don't layer your channels. You end up with a mess. So, Edge Figaro should be getting picked up, hopefully soon. Let me make sure. Yep, we're committed. Everybody's on recover wounded. I don't see a recover wounded job, though. That's not good. Can they not get to him? There's no path down. Oh, wait. Yeah, from there to there. Oh, the cave-in crushed the ramp, so nobody can get down to him. Alright, we need some emergency work done here. We're, Woo Monkey, hello there. Well, wait, let me see who's idle. Moses is, okay. So Moses, do you want emergency dig, please? Good, we've already shut off all your other labors. Commit that, go get that. Let's make sure we don't have two of you ending up down in the hole there. Where's Moses? You're not supposed to be storing anything. Moses has no storage levers. There he goes. Go rescue Edge. Okay. Meanwhile, I'll continue trying to dig out this upper layer very slowly. Now I should be able to get down to him. We can. Okay, we have a recover wounded. Ah, Juxtapose is going to go save Edge. Go get him, man! Where are you, Jux? Bring him to the hospital. ITG, you're about to go to work. What's ITG doing? ITG is storing things in the house. Alright, well, I turn on. That was not what I meant to do. I turn that back on. And ITG needs to concentrate on healing. Oh, now he's going to go to sleep. So you just lay there for a bit, Edge, and we'll get back to you. Meanwhile, we're going to see if we can't not cause another cave-in. I'm still trying to figure out where all that magma came from to drop on his head. That just didn't make a lot of sense. I suppose nothing really does. Meanwhile, we can start smoothing the drain. And we can start hooking up our levers. Okay, so we're going to hook this up to a floodgate. I want it hooked to that one. And I can't hook up the other floodgate yet until I pick up the first one, because you have to go at a floodgate from a 90-degree angle to be able to hook up mechanisms, so you can't diagonal in your mechanism. Alright, what's ITG doing? He's storing more stuff in the stockpile. Let's see how we're doing here. He's hungry. Ability to crash. He's still waiting on a diagnosis. Well, that's annoying. Do we have anybody feeding? Oh, no, we don't. Alright, we need people to feed the wounded here, please. Oops. Right. Sorry about this, but apparently Fraps decided to break off recording on me without letting me know about it. So, last you saw, Edge was pretty battered. He's doing all right now. He had a bunch of treatment. He had a clean. He got some sutures. He got his break set and received some dressings. So he's doing all right. We have started setting up a soap facility between the ashery and the soap maker. We have made Wood Monkey into soap and lye making. So he'll fire up the ashery for me. And we'll be able to get that going, just so in case we have any more injuries, we've got soap on hand. We've finished digging out the cistern here. We're just waiting on the last rocks to go, and we have carved fortifications into the edge of the map so that we have our drain. We are in the... Oh, this got done. We have hooked up the two upper floodgates. And now we're going to build the lower floodgate so that we don't get into a mess. We also found the second cavern around level 83, and we just hit the third one. Whoops, stop digging. Sorry, it's on 82. This cavern's pretty expansive. There's nowhere I can really wall off easily to go work in. So I just dug off a side channel and went down. So first thing I gotta do, sorry, I want to make sure that my miner is set to go do what he needs to. So we're gonna remove all of this dig. Something else I forgot to do was build a hatch. Come on, there we go. Okay, there's my hatch cover there. We've dug, oh, he's just digging right into this. What do we see down here? Bug bat. Okay, that's on cavern 3. Yeah, we definitely need to get that hatch into place, because they're pretty close to where we punched in. Okay, and well, we've got Bocash. He's still hanging around up on level 1. Got a giant toad. He's also up in cavern 1. Alright, so it doesn't look like I'm in immediate threat in the 3rd cavern. Let's get down to floor level. This also looks pretty expansive. This thing is huge. Yeah, that looks like it's got a possibility. I'll have to go all the way up and see if that drives through or not. In the meanwhile, we're going to have to, whoops, go up. There we go. Okay, so that's our stairway. I'm going to probably need some more hatches here. So we're going to mark off a little area there so that people can stand and put hatches in. There's no real good place to go down from here. Oh, right up against this wall. So, okay, so when my system locks up, Fraps shuts off. That's good to know. Okay, so we're going to dig through here. Up, down stairways through here. Down stairways here. And then we'll just dig a little passage there. And we'll continue our drive towards the magma sea. Well, we've dug down to -8, and we found the semi-molten rock, which means that we've gotten underneath the magma sea at this point. I don't see any heated rock, or not much of it, just over here on this corner, so I'm hoping I can poke into the sea from above it. Right in here looks like the top layer of the sea, so we're going to dig that out eventually, but I wanted to show you the waterfall system because I'm about to complete it. So we're going to build a floor. Whoops. Oh, let's go find out where he's heading. Alright, he's still pulling a little bit of rock out of there. So while they finish pulling the rock out, I'll show you the completed system. We have our floodgate here, which leads to our access corridor, and it's blocking the water off so it goes down to our grate system into our waterfall. Coming up here, we have our 2 floodgates, which will lead to where we're going to pull the, where we're going to dig upwards into. We're going to only open one of them for when we send the miner up there. The reason for that is because the miner can get in and out on the diagonal, and it'll allow him to escape the water flow. So, it'll end up looking like this, where you have the diagonal going. Now, we're going to need to make sure he has access, so we're going to open up the maintenance floodgate. So, that's out of the way now. So now we're going to go up here. Well, I'm sure I'm not... Okay. To make sure that we don't have any more problems, we're going to forbid and hide some things. Now we don't have to deal with anybody getting stuck downstairs when I turn this thing on. We'll put our last grate in. And we're going to go upstairs and we're going to have our miner dig. One more thing we're going to forbid. dig an upward stairway here, and then an up-down stairway right there. Yep. Now we just, okay. Here comes Edge. He'll dig that up. He'll dig that. That went right underneath our aquifer. That's filling with water. So now, since he's out of the way, we're going to let that fill up before we do anything with it. And we're going to close the maintenance floodgate. All right. Once that closes, there we go. So, as you can see, the water comes down stairways just fine. We've got our 2 floodgates here. It's closing it off. We're going to open both of them up and allow a full flow to come through. Nobody's built the grate yet. That's interesting. Okay. Well, they'll get to it. So now the water's coming through, and we have ourselves a nice little waterfall. So what's happening down here is we've got mist and we've got waterfalls. Our dwarves are getting cleaned by force, which always helps. So that dust covering will scatter all over the floor, but there's not much we can do about that. Just for aesthetics, I'm out of doors. Make me doors, please. So now we're going to go down and see if we can't fight with the magma sea. And I'm going to show you the search patterns I use when I try and do that. So we're going to head down to our cavern layer because it's the closest hotkey I've got at the moment. I can turn on dig so I can see where it gets hot. Okay, it gets hot here. So we're going to start above it. We're going to dig downward stairways and see if we can't detect where the heat's at. If we find hot stone in here, we know we just found an underlayer. And we don't go sideways. We go up again and over and see if we can't figure out where it's at. So he's going to be coming downstairs here eventually. And I'll bring you back once he shows up. Welcome back. So our miner has found some warm stone on this level. Now, it could be that we're just, because we're right above it, it could be because we'd end up going through it. Either way, I don't want to keep digging here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up a level. We found the warm stone here. And we're going to go see what that finds us. Okay. This is all warm stone through there. So we're going to dig a 1-block channel. Let's see what we see. Well, this is all warm stone. That channel did not find magma, so we didn't end up with a problem. So I'm going to dig an up-down stairway here. He went to go drink, so I'll bring you back when he gets back down here. Hey guys, I'm bringing you back a little early. I'm not sure what's happened yet. Sarvesh here has decided that he's going to go rest his injury. I'm not entirely sure what injury he's got because I don't have anything on the report screen for him. The last report I have of any kind of combat is Edge when he got thrown down in the pit and hit. So I'm waiting on the diagnosis for that. We're going to go see what ITG can find out. Looks like she's vomiting all over the place. Yeah. We may have caught a syndrome. There we go. Let's go find out what happened to poor Sarvesh. Okay. Sarvesh has to go clean himself. Health. No history, no treatment, no nothing. Apparently he had heartburn or something. I don't know what that was about. Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong person. The health screen doesn't even show his diagnosis. He's just going to go clean himself up. All right. Well, we'll run him through the fountain, I guess. Where's Sarvesh? I'm just going to follow you, see if you puke up some more. Well, it looks like you're good now. I don't know what that was about. Wonder if some of the dust caused him to get dizzy and start vomiting or something. That was just very strange. So I figured I'd bring you in case that actually matters somewhere down the road. Because I'm not sure what that was about. Meanwhile, it looks like we're heading downstairs to go carve into the magma sea. So we're just going to follow him down there. And I've been wondering about that dust for a while and how bad those contaminate. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, Edge is alive. He dug through. We found the sea. Whew. That could have been uncomfortable. Okay, so we're gonna. I don't have hatch covers? No, I don't have hatch covers yet. Great. So without hatch covers, I can't seal this thing up yet. Let's see if we got anything in the flames. We got crundles. They're up on 2. Muskox. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Come on. Muskox corpses on the surface. Bokash is still kicking around in Cavern 1. Okay, it doesn't look like we see anything down in the sea. No fire imps, no magma crabs, nothing like that. Okay. So from here, we'll be able to get some magma going into minecarts and bring them upstairs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build a forge down here at first just to be able to build out some iron goods real quick since I'm not going to really have enough time. Well, I'll have enough time, but it's going to take a while to dig out the elevator that will come up with the magma, as well as create the magma loader system with iron chains and things like that, with rollers to be able to get the carts back out of the magma ditch. So this is going to take a little time and some patience. So I want to bring the first forge down here. And it looks like this area right over here is roughly where I was thinking about going up anyway. I'll confirm that later, but I want to be on the topmost level. Okay, what we'll do is we'll re-breach over here, and we'll get a better idea of what's going on. So he's digging back over to the sea for me. He didn't want to do that channel because he just detected some odd stone, so I'm telling him to go do it. Alright, he's coming down for it. Okay, we found some raw adamantine somewhere. Over here. I'll have to drain the sea if we want access to that. Doesn't look like it's a spire. It looks like I would be able to dig out some of that. But I've been able to see more of the sea now, which is what I wanted to be able to do. I was a little worried that it came up further over here, and it does. So, we're going to go figure out where I wanted to drive that area through, which was right here, roughly. Okay. So if we build the beginnings of the forge right here, we should be okay for a bit. So I finished digging out the beginnings of the forge. We're going to work off of our lane that we built over here. Drop down 2 levels. Well, this will be the forge level. This will be the magma chute we'll drive in. I'll breach right where that is. Coming in from here, I'll dig down and then I'll floor it up. One of the things we're going to need is we're going to need some more magma-proof stone and blocks. So I'm going to have to go dig out some gabbro or some bauxite. One of the things I've done is I adjusted some of my stockpiles here. So these actually will now hold gabbro and bauxite and the other one won't. This way I can tell either my masonry or my mechanic when I want only magma-proof stuff that can go make it for me. But we're going to need to dig out a quarry here of gabbro, since that seems to be the easiest for me to get my hands on. Here's some gabbro. So we're going to tell him to mine a bit here. That should be plenty. We're not running into the caverns, or at least we shouldn't be. No, that's a little close. Oops. We'll cut that off. That should be plenty. Our waterfall is running. Oh, here we go. Here come the ambushes. Okay, first ambush shows up. Let's see how they do. Yep, took out 2 undead so far. Ambushes are kind of funny. As soon as they run out of ammo, they're screwed. Yep, they just got slaughtered. Another ambush. I think they're running for it. Okay, good. I'm not going to end up with too many undead stuck on the... Too many more undead, I should say. We're up to 63 at this point. Something just got canceled. Ah, we ran out of pigtails. Yep, ran out of pigtails. Oh, we've almost gotten our quarry bush down. And we're up to a whole bunch of rock nut. Excellent. As you can tell, we've dug out the cistern. The drain is working fine. We're going to dig a channel here in the middle of the hospital so I can build a well. Ed just started digging things out, and I wasn't careful enough in my dig orders, so he's managed to dig himself into the hole, and he's not going to be able to get out at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn on masonry for him so he can build his own way out. I'll have him build a ramp right here from the granite. Also, one of the other things that occurred is Savesh got sick again, or Sarvesh got sick again. He still doesn't have any health problems. He's just dizzy and all sorts of messed up. Center. Oh, he's unconscious now. He walked in here dizzy, nauseous, the works. I have to assume this is from the dust somehow. It's the only thing that makes sense. He's covered in water. Well, he was covered in water. Now he's covered in vomit. So I'm not entirely sure what the problem here is. He is half naked right now. That's not good. I'm not entirely sure where his clothing went, but that's probably not helping. So we're going to go figure that out. I'm going to go have Ed dig his, or build his way out of the hole, and maybe we can get somewhere downstairs. So I will catch up with you guys in a bit once we have Ed freed up and we can figure out what Sarvesh's problem is. So I wanted to thank you all for dropping by. I appreciate your attention, and I'll be back with part 5 as soon as it's available.